guys, today I am here to do Eren's 2-year-old update, which sounds crazy. I am about a week late and it'll probably be like a couple more weeks before you guys see this video, before I have it uploaded on YouTube and everything. But Eren just turned 2, he's a big boy now. So I just watched Calvin's 2-year-old update and it's so weird how different these guys are. It's just really crazy. I've always noticed that they have had their differences and they have been totally different people, of course, but it's just weird watching that video and seeing Cal as a 2-year-old compared to Eren. And even in that video, I mentioned how, I can't even imagine what Eren's gonna be like at 2 years old, and now here we are. It just totally flies by. So I'll leave a link down below if you are interested in seeing Calvin's 2-year-old update, but for now, let's talk a little bit about Eren. So we are currently on lockdown or whatever. I have not left the house with the boys for over a week now. Eren's birthday was on St. Patrick's Day, which was before our state put into the, don't get together and do things effect. And so we did have some family over for his birthday, just our close family, like my sisters and their families, and then like Justin's grandma and our parents, the grandparents and stuff like that. So it was just a close-knit little birthday gathering, nothing too crazy. I made him cupcakes, but we didn't do anything really big or anything. He did get a haircut, as you can see. It's super stylish. I just put gel in it like 10 minutes ago, so it still looks good throughout the day. It definitely gets messier. But I was very on the fence about giving him a haircut, but my husband really wanted to do it. And we decided on this haircut here, where he has super short sides and the top is still pretty long. So that was the compromise that me and my husband came to. His hair was so long and beautiful, and with the spring finally coming and the humidity coming back, his hair was getting its curl back a little bit. And so it was sad to cut it all off. You wanna get down? So yeah, I thought that it was going to be like the worst experience ever to give him a haircut. And we were thinking about just taking him to like a Great Clips or whatever, but when me and my husband decided on the haircut itself, I was like, we could totally do this at home. I cut my husband's hair, I cut my own hair, I cut Calvin's hair, but for some reason I was like, I don't think I can physically cut Eren's hair. I think I would like start and then like freak out and not be able to finish it. And so I put up the top part that I wanted to keep long up in a ponytail and had my husband just go do the sides with his trimmers or clippers or whatever they're called. And so my husband did the hard part, he took off the majority of the length, and then he came out and showed me he still had his little ponytail up with his long hair, and I just went in and trimmed up his long hair. So it was super easy. We got it done super quick and it turned out really well. I really like it. We did trim the bangs enough to keep them out of his eyes if they do whatever they want to do, even though they're not styled. And the sides are real short. I think it'll be nice for him for the summertime, for the warm weather, to be a little bit cooler without his long ponytail hair. But yeah, I mean, I loved his hair long, but I do think that his new little haircut is super stylish and cool. So I'm happy with it, even though it was kind of a hard decision to make. So one big difference between me when Calvin was 2 and me with Eren is that I am a stay-at-home mom now. I've been a stay-at-home mom since like October, and the whole year before that I was very part-time working, and then I had a little girl I was babysitting for a while. So Eren has been with me a lot more than Calvin had been at this age. And so kind of along with that, Eren is still breastfeeding. He still loves his boobie. He needs his boobie first thing in the morning. I always joke that he's like a grown-up with coffee because he cannot function first thing in the morning until he has his morning boob. And then I typically give him another boob before like nap time and then at bedtime. So he's about 3 or 4 times a day right now, and I don't see it reducing anytime soon. I do go through phases where I think maybe I should just wean him, because I'm like, some days I'm just like over it. But I mean, when they fall asleep in your arms, it's just too cute, I feel like if I wasn't nursing him, it would be a lot harder to get him to fall asleep in my arms, and I want to keep him a baby as long as possible. He is definitely a mama's boy. He just loves being around me. He could be like a perfect little angel with my husband all day, and then as soon as I show up, it's like end of the world, I must be with mom. He loves singing, he loves music, he loves to sing like the alphabet with us. He knows a lot of the letters. If you ask him to pick out a letter, he will find it. And I'd say he's probably about halfway knowing the letters that way. He can say the letters, like if we're singing the alphabet and we're saying them in order, he is pretty good at saying which one is next in the alphabet. Same with counting. He doesn't really count on his own, but if I'm going 1, 2, he'll say 3, or he'll count the next number as we're counting together. He's still working really hard on his colors. He's only about halfway there, and I know he's only 2, but I do sometimes worry if he's colorblind, because my dad is colorblind, several of my dad's brothers are colorblind, so I could be a carrier for it. I actually have a 25% chance that any of my boys would be colorblind, so there's a very real possibility that he could be. And I mean, I don't want to like say that he is, but he's having a pretty hard time with colors, and he gets a lot of colors mixed up that a colorblind person would get mixed up. And so it is helpful that my dad is colorblind, and so I can ask him what colors confuse him and compare that to Eren, and there's a lot of similarities between them. But I don't want to like confirm that he's colorblind at this point, but he definitely does struggle with colors a little bit more, definitely a lot more than Calvin did at this age. Calvin already knew all of his basic colors at this age, but Calvin was also a much bigger talker. Eren is not a very big talker. Just a couple months ago, Eren finally started putting together like 2-word sentences like dad go or mom bye or whatever. Eren is not really a big talker. He's a lot, I don't know, I feel like Calvin was just like really advanced at this point, and so when I compare Eren to Calvin, it seems like Eren's kind of behind, but I feel like Eren's just pretty average as far as talking is concerned. They say that they should know like 50 to 75 words at this age, and Eren totally knows that many words. He just chooses not to use them all the time. He's definitely more of a whiny communicator. I think that's part of being more attached to me as a stay-at-home mom, and just being more of a mama's boy and like loving to breastfeed still. I feel like that all is just whininess. So we haven't started any potty training. Well, a couple days ago I tried to kind of get an idea of how much he knows about potty training, and he doesn't know a lot. He definitely had a few accidents, and he never peed on the potty. I don't think he's ever peed on a potty, even when we like put him on it before like bath time or whatever. We're not really implementing any potty training right now. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for what he knew. And I feel like as the weather starts to warm up, we're going to get more into potty training. I feel like once it's like straight up summertime and like warm outside and we can go outside every day, for some reason I just feel like that's gonna be really nice for potty training. With Calvin, he was about 2 years, 2.5 months when we started really potty training him, and that went really well. It was still warm out, and when he would go visit the grandmas, he could just run around outside naked and just pee wherever he wanted to, and I feel like that was helpful for him. So I feel like once the weather warms up and we can be in the house and let Eren just run naked, I don't want him to run around without pants when it's still kind of chilly out, you know? So once the weather warms up, we're gonna start really getting in on the potty training thing, and hopefully he takes to it as well as Calvin did when we tried with him at the same age. So I'm thinking like after the flats and hand washing challenge in May, that's when we're gonna start really hitting potty training hard. Now Eren is a pretty good eater. He's always kind of been that way, which is really nice because Calvin is a super picky butt when it comes to eating. Calvin has like half a dozen things that he eats on the regular, and Eren will usually try new things with me and my husband, and he likes to eat new things. He loves pasta. He's just really good at trying different things, and so that's really awesome. He's very open. He's not like, oh, I must have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day like Calvin is. And I do feed Eren vegetarian. He eats cheese, he drinks cow milk at the grandma's and stuff like that, but for the most part, he's vegetarian here at home with me and my husband. I have seen grandparents feed him meat, even though I've told them a million times I don't want him eating meat. I haven't like started any fights or anything over it, but Eren is vegetarian as far as I'm concerned. Calvin eats vegetarian when I feed him. I know my husband feeds him meat too, and I just kind of look the other way, but that's just the situation in this house. I'm a vegan and my husband eats a standard American diet, so vegetarian is our compromise for the children, I guess. Now, after watching the 2-year update for Calvin, when Eren was just a couple months old, I was like, oh, these guys are so cute. Their interactions together are just adorable. It is not like that anymore. For the most part, they are always going at it. They steal each other's toys and just do things just to make each other mad all the time. Calvin could be like walking across the room toward Eren, and if Eren sees him, he'll just like tense up. Like, it's so sad. Like, they are very fighty and just always mad at each other a lot. I mean, there are cute moments, of course, like the other day, just like sitting on the couch, Calvin was just like hugging Eren and like scratching his head, and like they'll hug and hold hands, and Cal will say, Mom, look, we're holding hands. They do have cute interactions, but for the most part, it's like my only job here is to prevent them from killing each other. So I think that's about all that I wanted to cover in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Eren apparently left me. He didn't want to be involved anymore. But I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what other kind of content you want to see here on this channel. With all of us being stuck at home, it is probably beneficial to get some like video requests down there. If there's extra stuff you guys want to see, next month is going to be the flats and hand washing challenge, which I'm super excited about. I've been putting up the first week of every month a full week of videos, trying to put out extra content, and I upload Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays all the other times. So yeah, subscribe if you are not already a subscriber, and I will talk to you guys next time.